We're on? I think we're on. Welcome back to my Tekno SCT410 2.0 build. Oh, I forget, I've got a bigger camera. This is where and I've got to talk into the mic today because it is already in the low mid 90s outside and it's gonna get hotter. This is what we got up to last time. Now, when a couple of you guys come in, I'm going to do a little bit of sound experimenting. I haven't scheduled this one because I wasn't sure I'd have time today to do this video. So we're just going to get into it, and once I see a few people pop in, we'll just do a little bit of sound testing. So please pardon the air conditioning sound in the background. Without further ado, let's get to it. We have a few bags left. We've got front bumper, drive shaft, shocks, more shocks, and side collision panel things, wheels and body to go on, which I've already prepared, so we're good to go. There's also an optional center brace, and they've just announced the MT410 2.0, which is the same platform, I understand, but monster truck body and wheels. Hey, Chris FM Blitz, g'day guys. It sounds a little tinny, does it? All right, thank you. Half a sec, guys. I'm just going to just try a small thing with sound because I've got a noisy air conditioner here. Let me just see. Is that any better? Does that sound all right, guys? Thanks for your help because I want to get this right without straining my voice. I've got to be careful. But I've got a really noisy aircon right next to me. And what I was saying was, while I wait for you guys to let me know, the MT410 2.0 probably comes with the optional center brace. I imagine it would for that kind of car, but you don't need it for a short course truck necessarily. Alright, let's get this done. We are up to bag M. And guys, if you can hear me, Chris or Blitz, do let me know if the sound's any better now. I've just made a change. Hopefully it is. Thank you. Alright, we're going to move that there. Make sure we've got everything on screen. Cool. So in this video, you might hear my voice fade away when I turn to look at the screen just to keep track of the chats, but this is my compromise because it's a bit of a stinker outside today. Alright, some lovely plastic pieces these are. What else we got here? Beautiful. Hoping you guys can hear me alright. Chat should be showing everything. Oh, Blitz or Chris or whoever else is watching now, how's the sound? Can you hear me okay? Is it clear? I'd really appreciate a quick message just to let me know so I don't keep going with bad sound. Sound is important for this kind of video. Thank you very much. Okay, let's do it. I haven't done a live since last week. I hope you guys are all well. I got out with some bashes on the weekend and I took out the new Corelli Kagama XP6S, and that was fun. Now this says, here we are. I also see an O-ring. Still a bit tinny, is it? And thank you, Blitz, you're doing some wrenching on a tour drive to me, a Monster Custom. Oh, which reminds me. Oh, this, okay, if the sound's good enough, we'll continue. I saw that new Tamiya, what was it? Not Flash, some floaty monster truck wheel thing. That looked pretty interesting. Okay, diff assembly from page 3. And the O-ring, although it doesn't show it, when you're doing this it goes in the end there. You just kind of pop it down. There we go. Like that. Okay, let's get it done. Put that in first. There we go. Oh. It's going to take me a little while to warm up here. I realised I'm not thinking very straight yet. I take a particular medication, and it's got a bit of a ramp when it kicks in, and I just realised it's kicking in now. I'm going to have trouble focusing. Luckily, I picked this completely involuntary timing for this live stream, eh? Could have planned that better. Alright, 1344, which is, I think, these fellas, 1344. Yep. Good. Yeah, that new Tammy does look pretty cool, doesn't it? I can't remember the chassis it's based on. It's a pre-existing one. But I don't think I've had that one before, so I guess we might have to have a look at it. The, what's it called? The Element Night Walker is finally in Australia too. So we'll get our grubby mitts on that shortly. Yeah. Let's get a bit coordinated. Come on, Greg. I've had a few messages from different people. Oh, by the way, if any of you guys are watching my channel yesterday, anything on my channel, you might have been the 1.5 millionth view on my channel. We just rolled that over yesterday. That was cool. We're 2.5 years in, and it felt like it kind of started slowly, but it's hard to have perspective when you're doing this kind of channel because most RC channels don't really grow unless you're all singing, all dancing, or otherwise connected. I haven't got any kind of special studio or setup or anything. Well, I mean, this is kind of nice, but I've only just done that. But yeah, that was nice. Here's to the future with plenty of more RC good times. Now let me just make sense of this thing. I haven't been able to get my head around it yet. We've got a pinion. Just make sure this is not shining for you guys. Yeah, thanks, Chris. We've got the cover, and there's a second cover, and this covers the main piece. I was waiting to see it. You've got a fiber piece there, but this is the main bit that's going to hold the hub thing. That's what I was looking for. So that should sit or kind of click in. Let me see. Yeah, it clicks in there. Yeah, go. All right. The only thing I'm not too sure about is how little of a lip this is. This is a nice solid piece. There's plenty of fiber. Okay, so there's plenty of fiber. I was just looking for some surety that this is actually going to be sturdy enough, you know? I think it will be. Okay, we can do the pinion after. So I'll stick that with the cover. Now, 1524. Just make sure we're on screen. I'm sorry you guys probably can't read this. I've got the resolution turned up. And I really, really hope... Oh, could you guys, anyone watching this, could you tell me if this video is actually smooth? I'd really appreciate it. You're helping me troubleshoot here. I was just up a ladder working on my antenna. I've got a panel antenna just to get my Optus signal. And I was just realigning it. Because I think the last video we did was really, really choppy. Even in playback, which was disappointing. So let me know. Is it choppy or is it smooth? It'd be nice to know. Like, is it kind of freezing like that, or is it just a smooth stream? I'd really like to know if you have a sec. Thank you guys. I know I'm treating you guys a bit like guinea pigs here, but this is for the future. I want to get things as nice as possible, so big thanks. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay, we've got 1524, and there's no 28 here. 24, there's one thread lock going into metal, and the rest are going into fiber. So we can park this fella in now, stick it in the end. Probably shouldn't have picked out the dual live stream, sorry. I can just feel it. I'm all over the shop in my head. I'll be my normal self in a little while, but it might take 20 minutes or so. Alright. Oh, that's beautiful. See that nice and clearly? Yeah, you can. Look at that. If anyone gets a sec, let me know. Is this video smooth? I'd really appreciate knowing that. It should be, but I don't know for sure. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3 going into metal and 3 going into fibre. I'll do the 2 on the fibre end first. I'm not doing them all the way up. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, Blitz. Yeah, look, you very well could have. I don't know who, but it was around 12 hours ago it rolled over. So if you're on my channel about 12 hours ago, you would have been in that, I don't know, we get a new view every 2 seconds or something like that at the moment. You could have been one of those about 12 hours ago. Alright, oh, way too much. This one's really hard to regulate. I'm just going to hope this plastic is chemically compatible with thread lock. I mean, it should be, since you know it's asking for it to go through. Because if not, we'd pull the cover off and hit the thread lock in the thread, pull the screws out, and then bolt it back in. There's your eyes, Craig. There it is. The Squash Fan, funny name. Very similar chassis to what you're working on at the moment, which is a Tamiya Monster Custom with a Stadium Blitzer body. Yeah, that's cool. Alright, now I'm not being shy with doing these up. I'm not cranking them until the plastic goes flat, but this is... yeah, just have to... If you're ever unsure doing up a... See, these are machine screws. They're not self-tappers, and they're going into plastic. It's a nice fibre plastic, but it's still plastic. If you're ever unsure if you've gone too far, you just back it off a bit, and if you're already in, it'll actually be fairly snug for a little while. So very, very like firm but sensitive. You want to make sure you don't go too far. The metal's a bit different. It'll keep going until it destroys the plastic, so you don't want to go too far there either. I just want it to be absolutely snug. Now there's no movement there, not even a little bit of tick 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 tick. So that's beautiful. Gosh, this is a nice kit. I can't say never, but I'm probably not going to get the MT410 2.0, the monster truck version of this. But I just saw RC Driver's little, 1 minute Instagram take on it, and I think it was him saying this. I do try not to read stuff in case I'm going to get it, but in this case I'm not. I think it was him, or maybe it was the comments. Someone was saying how it's a downgrade from the SC410 the original one, how it had smaller parts and it was downgraded in a few ways. I can't speak to that because I didn't have that machine then. This already was thread lock on it. But what I did notice was just, I mean, look at how nice this is. I've got to think that if the new one's based on this, it's got to be still pretty good, eh? Because this stuff seems like it's going to take big power all day long. Now, we can't adjust the mesh on this, so I'm just looking at the alignment of the pinion and the spur. I'd prefer to have a sliding motor mount. I can see how that'd be a pain with this. You'd have to pull this whole side assembly off to slide the motor around, but I really would prefer that. Alright, that's nice and tight. Let's catch you later. Oh no, Chris, you gotta go, sorry. Go do chicken chores, feed a couple of tiny humans. Thanks, Chris. Have a good night, mate. Nice to see you. Alright, that's in. And there's a little more movement than I would have had. I know we've got a lot of background noise here, but see if you can hear this. I'll actually press it against the mic. Now there's just a little bit of movement. Let me get this on camera again. That kind of movement's acceptable for this kind of gearing, but I'd actually still like it closer again. It's pretty good. It's good enough, but I personally would make it closer. So there was still movement, but it would want to be barely perceptible. And you also want to check 90 degrees around to make sure it's even. It should be, but sometimes these plastic parts aren't. That is a nylon spur, yeah. So anyway, we've got a motor in, center diff, beautiful. Now we stick the dust cover over the pinion. Oh, there's a gap. I think you can see that. I'm just going to see if this slides. It might. I might have to undo these screws otherwise. I reckon we'll get it. Just got it picked up so you can see what I'm doing, but I might have to put it down. Yep, alright, got to undo the screws. The thread lock's still fresh, so it should be alright. This piece is so stiff that even undoing these two, it still doesn't really want to lift. And it's odd that this is designed like that. If I was designing this in CAD, I would have had that piece have the recess and this piece have the top piece, because clearly it goes on after because your pinion's there. This is the first little design oversight I think I found. This lip should be reversed. If you, I mean, I know you're probably not watching, but Tekno, if you're watching this, reverse these two pieces next time, guys, because this is the piece that comes off if you're changing pinions or whatnot. I don't want to have to undo this, especially because it's a nice thread lock piece. You're never undoing this unless you change the diff oil. We're going to have to undo all 4 screws, unfortunately. I need a drink. G'day Oliver G. Yeah, I like the armor method with the E clip on the end. Or is it a C clip or an E clip? Whatever it is. It makes more sense, doesn't it? Oh, this just doesn't want to go up. I'm just going to move this because I keep lifting things so you see it on camera. There we go. There we go. Gee, that was quite an effort. Do the fiber one first. Oh, hang on. It's not actually in. There's like a gusset down there. This is probably going to snap in. Yeah, I think that's in. Still doesn't look quite in. It's got a rounded kind of end on it. Let's just get it screwed up and see what it looks like. Oh yeah, it's snugged right up, so beautiful. You don't need the drill for the into the metal piece because that's actually a lot easier and quicker. There we go. Oliver, you're saying the mesh is perfect in the armor reinforced pinion or avid fits better in your what? In your one of these? Is that? Forgive my memory, Oliver, if you've commented in a previous video. Do you have one of these and you tried a different pinion and you found it meshed better? Is that what you're saying? The mesh is quite good on the pinion I'm using here, but I couldn't tell you where I got it from. I have a whole container of them and I've lost track. Because I've undone and done up these 2 bolts, I'm just going to hit them with thread. We're just going to look at it real quick. Oh, sorry, Oliver, I meant which video. It's not video, sorry. I meant which vehicle is the word I wanted. Are we talking about a Tekno or are we talking about armor? Because it reads like you're saying the armor pinion in this vehicle. Is that right? You got a bunch of pinions. Good. Yeah, thanks for clarifying. Sorry, I was just trying to understand where you're coming from. Because this is how I learn stuff as well. We learn new tricks. Someone said last video that a particular product fit really nicely on one of the trucks I was testing. We kind of learn more together, don't we? I just noticed that I've got a kink in this wire. I'm just going to bend that around. It doesn't really matter. Oh, good. Yeah, okay, good. I understood you better. So you're saying the armor reinforced pinion fits better in your SCT410 2.0 and you liked the mesh better. Better than what? I don't know. Better than whatever you had. I don't know what pinion I'm using here. Again, just like you, I've got a bunch of them, but it's good enough. And being mod 1, having a little bit of movement, that's still quite acceptable. So I'm happy enough. Now I think I was happy with this too. The antenna on this guy is upright. I haven't done this. I think I should do this radio box up just briefly. Let me just. They've got a tiny break in the edge there for this to go in. Oh, I've made another mistake. Arg. I missed this the other day too. There's actually a gap in the radio tray here. We've just got to. Do we have to unscrew stuff? Let me see. I think we do, unfortunately. Let's have a look. This will have to come out. Oh, we can't. Let me use a smaller piece. Yeah, this might be alright. Let me see. Gee. Oh, I made a mess of this. I don't want to hurt the plug. You're running a 20-tooth pinion with a max 8G2 and a 2500 kV. Beautiful. G'day, Derp. So and what battery? That's the key point. If it's 2500, I'm guessing 3S, right? I know it'll take 4S. A 4268, you probably get away with 4S, but 3S is probably better for this platform, right? I'm guessing. Because what am I running again? 3050 was it? Yeah, it's a 3050 and it's a 3670, and you're running a 4268. That's a big old motor. Oh boy, it's standing backflips. Here we come. And that's perfection, huh? That's so overpowered. I should be taking notes, shouldn't I? Yeah, I'm off this. I don't want to pick it up, but I think I have to. How many screws is it? 3 big ones, 2 small ones, plus cable management. No, it's more than that. It's a couple. That's a pain. Come on, just do it, Craig. Just do it. It's worth doing properly, isn't it? Because I'm not using the instructions right now, I just kind of changed channels real quick. I'm going to lay these out in a schema. It looks like a tiny screw bit. I know it's good. So what we'll do is, I'll lay them out in the order I remove them. It's a shame to have to undo this, but I have to. Yeah, good one, Jeff. No worries. Absolutely, Oliver, you're right. You don't have to go full power. It's a good point. But at the same time, it's an enormous motor. If you wanted to go overpowered, could you? I mean, I suppose you'd go lower kV again if you were actually trying to prove a point, but I don't know. It does seem overpowered to me. Oh, there are 6 screws, are there? They're hiding. Ah, there are. Oh, gee. Oh well. Let's just do it. It's worth doing properly, isn't it? I'm not going to forget that, Oliver. 4268, 2500 kV. After I finish my big comparison test of all these short course trucks, I suppose that might be the next step for this thing. Now, are we missing any screws? There's one at the end, which I can probably ignore, because I just need to get these No. Come on, do it properly. Do it properly. No, no. Pull this out. What am I doing wrong here? I've got the wrong drill. Need to get some little screwdrivers. Little electric screwdrivers, not these monstrosities. Alright, so now we've got our schema. There you go for 100k an hour. See, with all these people doing speed stuff online, you think 60 miles an hour or 100k, and if you haven't done it before, you think, oh, well, that's not that fast, but it really, really is. Trying to not undo my lovely cable management here. There's a bit of an oversight not threading these last time, so this is the hole I'm talking about in the radio box. So I couldn't have done this without removing the screws, unfortunately. It's a bit of an annoyance because look at all these screws we have to pull out, but oh well, do it once. It's worth doing properly. If you're comfortable answering, what part of Australia are you in? Did you say, was it you that was in Adelaide or was it somewhere else? I mean, I know a few others are too, but you don't have to say the city. I'm just curious about east or west even. It's good enough since this is a public forum. Alright, now pop them all back in. I bet it's silent. Get the right combination of gears. Oliver, do you bash or race with your 14? Actually, you've already answered the question indirectly, but with that system, I'm assuming you're bashing. Goodness me. Alright. I was just saying I went bashing on the weekend with a couple of friends and my boy. We took a few cars. I took the Creighton 6S and I took the new Kagama, Corelli Kagama, and I'm just working on editing that Kagama video now. That's a fun car, but the Velcro straps, I blew them both out with a bad landing, just ripped them both in half, just gone. It's kind of annoying. This strap is not going to break, I'll tell you what. G'day, Void. Oh, well, the SCT410 2.3, that's another name for the lightweight one, isn't it? There's like a 2.5 kind of thing. It was a nice revision of the 2, is that right? Yeah, look, it is heavy. It's certainly not a lightweight car. I've heard good things about the TLR, but I don't know that we'll be including that since we're doing a bashing focus comparison here. Oops. Doubling up and all. To anyone just arriving, I'm sorry I didn't schedule this one. I wasn't sure I'd make it today, so I just left it open rather than letting it down. So think of this as a bonus. Nice to have you guys here talking anyway. They had the SL, then the 2.0. I see. Hyperbaric chamber treatment next year. What's that for? I'm not asking what you've got. I'm saying, what is that commonly used to treat? I can't remember. And also, all the best with it. Yeah, cool. The MT410 2.0. That's what I was chatting about just here before. I'm trying not to read much about it, but I must admit I've read a couple of comments on RC Driver's Instagram just because I happened to be on to answer some comments. And someone was complaining that it all looks like a downgraded weak thing, but I don't know, this thing seems to be built like a tank, honestly. Ah, he missed the postie. Well, we don't get the postie here, we're in the country. Gotta go to the post office. Oh, g'day James, I didn't see you turn up. How you coming? Nice to see you. I don't think I've missed anything else. It's only a quiet chat, we only got 6 or 7 people. 6, there you go. I can keep up with 6 people. It was 30 or 40 or whatever it was last time when I actually scheduled one. It was a little bit more chaotic. And I know there's a tiny numbers compared to some of these big streaming people. I like it small, honestly. Small is good. Right, now I've got 2 more screws, one's for cable management and one comes in from underneath. That's fine. And this is going to plastic, so we don't need thread lock. This is not right. That looks better because it's going to match the shape of the thing. I think I had that on wrong anyway. Attempting to experiment with lighting at the moment. I'm still trying to work out how to do this better. Okay, now last one, let's do that. Good. Now, what I was checking before was that we had enough room where it's fitting. Oh, beautiful. Plenty of room. I almost don't need to stick this down, really. I mean, there's no antenna to worry about. I will. Yeah, right. Fair enough. Okay, so it increases your blood oxygen. That makes sense. That makes sense. Well, all the best with it, my friend. That's it's good to have access to that stuff, isn't it? I hope it goes well for you. Can you do your best, don't you? Alright. That's in. Cool. I might have overlooked this step last week. Let's do these up. Is this the first? No, they're all big. All these screws are nice and big. I really like this. Beautifully thought out kit. Coordination would be nice. There we go. Hey, that's progress, Dirk. Good job, man. Quick question for the few of you guys here. You're some of my regular guys, so I value your opinion. I've got a few different cars coming up. I've got a couple of monster trucks, my custom lossy, what's it called, the Sling King. That with its 3D printed bits, it's been upgraded again, and I've got a half-done review on that. I've got that and the USA one from Kyosho. I also have the Element Zool, and we've got the new RGT Pro Runner. They're all sitting here behind me. There's the King Kong Lurker as well, which is that Sherp looking thing, and the Cross RC-TNT, which is a kit build. Any preferences on crawlers after we do the short course stuff? Any preference on monster trucks? What would you like to see? I'll take into account what you say. This is not a guarantee of what I'm going to do next, but I'd be interested in hearing your opinion on what you'd like to see, if you want. If you're happy just to keep seeing whatever I'm doing, that's fine too, of course. Thank you. Okay, I've got this fella like that. Man, this is just such a nice bit. Gosh, it's nice. Get the right size there. M3 by 18. Comes in from the side. Hey, another indoor course using blankets soaked in cement to get the shapes you want. That's so clever. That's really smart. I love it. That's really creative. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to do some crawlers. It's been a while. I did start with crawlers. I'm thinking actually what I might do, unless there's any strong preference, is I'm going to take the Ecto and the Zool out to the gorge, and we'll just set up some gates, and I'll just run a couple of courses, because I'd like to see how they compare. Now we've got step M3 here, and it's not used yet. Ah, shucks, it's going to take a while. Okay, let's get this done. Looking at it, I think this is going to be easier to bolt this onto the front first before we do it all up. Alright, thank you, Oliver. I appreciate that. James, have I thought of doing some merch? Yeah, Simon's on me to do that as well. I don't know. I made this logo before It always feels like a bit of a dodgy logo because I put effort into it, but I didn't really have the skills. I've never been super strong on graphic design. I don't know if I want to stick that on a shirt or stickers or whatever. But I mean, if you guys are interested, I'd be open to getting some vinyls done. I actually was trying to think what's something that's useful that's not wasteful. I don't want to just build anything that's just going to be adding to landfill, you know. But if people would wear clothing, sure, I guess I could do merch. I guess it doesn't cost anything if I just use their dropshipping things if I don't care about making money, which I don't from it. Yeah, look, I could do that. Derp says, the course idea came from watching an artist make a huge chair made the same way on YouTube. Then another channel used the idea too once. You told them about it and it saves a lot of cash. Cool. It's just something to get your shape underneath, and maybe like 50 bucks in cement and 100 bucks in blankets. Get a huge course, way cheaper than carpet. It's really cool. Very creative. 1525. That's presumably this guy. It sounds like it to be kind of heavy too, right? Although if it's in your basement, then maybe you don't care. Coming from the back, yes. Nice one. Alright. Well, I'm looking forward to getting this done and getting it out on the dirt. Remember the Micro Machines Nintendo game? That was cool. There was another one too. Or maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Where it had all the different inside settings all around the house. It was very fun. Alright, now let's get our screws ready. We've got the top done. Oliver, you're going to tell me it's because we've got to line up the bracket, I assume. And we've got to remove the placeholder next. Because you want to get the thing flush and aligned with the chassis, I imagine. That's a good point, thank you. We want to do that a little. Get everything lined up first, that's wise, thanks. I would have thought of that some days, I mean probably, but I'm still all over the place mentally at the moment, so we'll all advice is welcomed. Okay, TKR 1323 at the end. This is the first manual error I've found too. Well, not error, but usually the lines on the rest of the build, these blue lines have lined up with the holes on every drawing. This is the first one where they don't. So they should have moved this whole thing across a little bit. But anyway, you get errors, oversights, and things like that in almost everything because it's really hard to do a perfect job. But this manual's been pretty good so far. In fact, the only mob I can think of that just doesn't have mistakes almost ever is the Lego, but that's when they have mistakes, they're so rare they become collector's items. Okay, we've got that, and then 1344 will be a bigger fella. Oh, thanks, Oliver. Look, it's still good advice, even if it is for the other end. You want to get the thing straight, don't you? Now, I did put grease on this, but I'm not seeing. Oh, I see. We just haven't rotated it much. It wouldn't hurt to throw a bit more grease in now that we're putting it together. It probably has enough, but it also doesn't hurt to add more. That'll be more than enough. Yeah, when I had the LMT about the other day, oh boy, those things, they were caked in a really nice high quality grease. That was really something. Alright, that's going to be down quite a bit. Like down. Let's have a look at the fit. Oh, it really did. It just snapped right in there. Beautiful. Alright. Oh yes, I see. That's what I was looking for. Okay, the big fellow goes through this front hole. It's this guy. You can see it's not quite straight actually. Done up all the way. These guys were next. Yeah, these don't line up with the holes. I'm really struggling to think right now. Oh, I see. These ones do. I was wrong. I'm sorry, guys. I was wrong. They do line up with the holes. They're just hard to see. There we go. Very good. I was wrong about an error, just to be very clear. Sorry, Tekno. It's just a case of my poor eyesight. Because these are all the smaller holes. And the bigger ones will come in when we put this base, the rear bumper on. want this to be snug but not over tight. Thankfully the fibre quality is really high, so it's going to be difficult to overdo it. Thankfully it gives you a lot of feedback. I think this was the screw. Yeah. If you thin out the cement, it doesn't make it too heavy. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. And Dev says, I like what you're thinking. It's a bunch of household things just like in the game. That would be cool. That would be cool. All right, well, we've got a drivetrain. This actually sits quite far out in the cup. I'm surprised that wasn't further in, actually, because this piece could be longer. You want it to be closer, I would have thought, to the base. If your steels are high enough grade, that's fine. Hey, Oliver, have you noticed, tell me this, have you noticed any obvious wear? Because these cups tend to wear as the dog bones move around in them. Have you noticed much wear on these rear ones here in particular? I'd be interested to hear, because given how near the end of the cups they are, oh, actually they are for all of them actually, but this one in particular, is it rounding out? I mean, I assume you would have said so if you had any issues. Okay, remove the placeholder screw. We're up to step M5. Oh, I can feel my head starting to clear. We can pick up a bit of speed and get on top of this now. Alright. TKR 1528, but first, I'm liking what you're doing, Dirk. That sounds really cool. It sounds really cool. 1528, are these the same length? Yes. Alright, good. Now it's going to fiber. Which WPLs have you got to build there, James? Like Blitz, I've got a B36KM that I really like. But I also got the new B36-3, the one with the trailer. I thought I'd check it out. And I don't know that if I was doing this again, or Blitz, if you attempt to buy it, you can buy the trailer separately. That'd be the way to go. Although, no, you know what? Don't listen to me. You still need the tow hitch, don't you? Okay, that's the front bit for it. And now we're going to do the very front. I might just do these up first because they're quick and easy. I must be wrong. Something's not right here. Oh no, I'm right. So that we took the placeholder out of that filler there, and when this snaps on, it goes back in through there. I'm going to start with the top one, so no, I'm not, because you don't do that this step. 44.5 is that filler. Oh yes, James, you did mention the C14. Very good. Good one. Alright, we're lined up. I didn't really put that in very far. Now, bottom one's long at the end and then shorter further in. Just get them all in and then we'll do them up. You were saying the bumpers are different. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. one of the aftermarket parts you'd often swap out on a car too when you get the bigger front bumper. T-Bone Racing used to do a bunch of awesome stuff. I bet you they would have had a lovely no-on piece for this as well. But they're gone. It's a shame too, because I think RC is getting rather epic again. It feels like it took a bit of a break. COVID kind of slowed things down, I'm sure too, but isn't there just so much good stuff out there now? Alright, I'm just being very careful I don't over tighten this. Look at that. I could stick wheels on this right now and drive it. Very cool. Shock time. Alright. Guys, I just need a quick break. I'll be back in a few. Here's some trucks.
almost well now. Good, I'm glad you're happy.
Alright, thanks guys, I'm back. Yeah, we're hitting 92 degrees here today. I think, give or take. Alright, let's get this newfangled technology under control. Good? Good. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, I've been saying Olivia. My mistake. Alright, let's have a quick look. Get familiar with this. As always, many options for pistons and coils. That includes 6 and 700 weight, or CST rather. So the front they suggest 700 and the rear they suggest 600. So that is what we're going to do. I see, good. So we've got different springs, and they make them, they're not just painted with red. The rear one is actually painted black with yellow. Yeah, good. Sounds good. Okay, let's get everything organized. Oops. No, missed it. I don't know if it was a choice, Derp, to just, like so many govs saying get it from China. They kind of outcompeted on cost. So your local ones, it's actually, if people were buying the local stuff and paying more, they might have stayed in business. It's not the people's fault, because they got to survive. It's ironically capitalism's fault that China is taking a lot of this stuff. I guess we've got Chairman now to thank for that. Partly. The West is a victim of its own success to some extent, isn't it? Bag number, I think this is M. This is N. And we've got O and P left. O is for the rear shocks, N is for the front shocks, and P will be the side bumpers and just the body mount bits and pieces. Yeah, we are nearly there. We should be finished in this stream, hopefully. Oh, sorry. There we go. Yeah, I've had a bit of a rough ramp up with my brain stuff this morning. Just sometimes it's a bumpy entry. Today was a rough one. I'm starting to think more clearly now, so we'll be able to get on top of things. Let's get it happening. We've got little bits. I'm just setting everything up first. It's a lot easier if you get it done first. Alright. I don't know how much we want to get into this, Dirk, but I hear what you're saying about the people in government. But so here's how the people in government don't let it happen. They either put excise on or ban trading completely. They're just having heavy excises to make the the introduced stuff more expensive, so that the locals can compete. You could, like, they're in a difficult position because they're artificially inflating the cost of living, basically, and so it's kind of how the political system's set up too. Because if you're responsible for making people have to pay more, you can say goodbye to being in office. It's almost a catch-22, and it's one of the problems with our modern human lifestyle, isn't it? Because that's why the planet's paying the way it is. We really do think kind of shorter term, and necessarily, like there aren't easy fixes to this stuff. This is the first little tiny 1.5mm screw in the whole kit, believe it or not. Yep, thank you, Olivia. I should pay attention to what I'm doing here. Thank you. These are the bleeders. Appreciate it. Good catch. I'm all the more impressed that you caught that over a webcam. That is impressive. I'll put those next to that because that's the bleeder bit. Thank you. Well done. I'm seriously impressed that you caught that over webcam, honestly, because this is going to screw into good. Alright, so we've got the washer on, piston note 1.2mm with piston writing up. We've got that. Brain. They've got you can kind of see there's a little line there. Let's see if we get the shape right. I can't. This might help it. Anyway, there's a spot for the washer to sit neatly. And we hit it with the thread lock, and then the shaft goes on the end of it. So one thing you'll notice from this design, there's not a circlip inside, no E-clips or anything like that. I prefer this, I think. Now this is keyed, so I'm going to need to be careful near the end when it's done up. That's interesting, Dirk. I guess things are going to be different around the world, aren't they? Run video tomorrow, James? Probably not. We've got thunderstorms and stuff coming on the tail end of all this hot weather. I do have some other run videos for. I've got a lot of cars. I've got the what's currently in my editing software. I've got the BBX video that's being edited currently, and I also have the I've jumped this one up in the queue because it's newer and has interest currently online, so I've got to kind of be a little strategic. But the Team Corrali Kagama XP6S, those two videos are coming shortly, and then I also need to get out to the gorge later in the week to film the Ecto and the Zool from Element. We've got the Pro Runner to do as well, RGT Pro Runner that arrived today, and a few companies have sent me some cars I need to get onto as well. It's just busy. Now, use green slime or oil on the shock shaft threads and O-rings to prevent tearing and leaking. I think I just use black grease, honestly. That's what I've got. I think it'll be alright. I haven't got green slime. I've got various greases here. Graphite grease. Should that play okay with the silicone oil? There's a reason they say green slime or whatever it was I just read. I think we're just going to use grease. We'll be fine. Alright. So the Pro Runner, yeah, it is somewhat similar to the TRX4, but different as well. There's a dig on that thing as well. I think I used the term all singing, all dancing. It really is quite an impressive machine from a spec point of view. We're going to see what it's like from a performance point of view. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, Banggood just got in touch with me on the weekend too. Invited me to give them a shopping list of stuff to send, so I've just selected a few cars, fast and slow, some nice ones this time. We'll see when they get around to coming to the party as well. Come on, Craig, what are you doing here? Ah, I didn't look at the instructions. So sometimes you thread this through, and sometimes you just do it. In this case, they're saying do it. I'm just going to thread it on myself. We're going to use this grease. It never hurts to have extra grease on these things. That goes in the big Craig, where you need the small one. Oh, jeez. Okay. Let me try this. That's better. Now I can hold it without it jumping all over the place. Spacer. It says option for spacer. I'm going to use it. Yeah, thank you, Olivia. I've got. I'm saying your name wrong. I'm sorry. I've got plenty of grease in it. I had it on the shaft all over the place. Very, very careful. Yeah, dig is interesting. Having now competed at the, well, I guess it's a national level since it's a national comp. We've got, it's not within arm's reach, but we have the new class, the tough truck class, and that has four-wheel steering and dig as an option. And I must admit, once you've got four-wheel steering, you don't tend to use dig all that much. Am I doing this right? I'm not really paying attention. Again, yeah, I am. There we go. Yeah, once you've got four-wheel steering, you don't really need dig all that much. But if you're not running four-wheel steering, well, yeah, dig makes a world of difference if it's legal, comp legal. And if you don't care about comps, then yeah, by all means, dig is very fun. And in fact, the Capra is kind of a beautiful introduction to using dig, or any of Axial's current stuff actually. Shame about their close ratio 2-speed, but that's another story, isn't it? G'day, noisy boy. I just noticed you were here. Hi. If I keep looking at this chat, I'm going to get myself all mixed up. Let's focus on the build. Greg. Alright. Quick question, guys. I just went inside before just for a quick break. My wife is doing her own thing, which is completely different to mine, but it's using the internet. Is this video still smooth now? Last video it was really choppy and it kept dropping frames over and over and over. Just before I started this stream, I got up on the ladder and changed my panel, changed the direction, and just did a bit of a survey. I tried to get the best connection I could. I'm hoping it's better than last time, because it was a bit of a mess last time, wasn't it? Let me know if it's been smooth for you anyway. Anyone who's been watching for a little bit. Really appreciate it, thank you. I'm slowly going to get these streams up in quality, bit by bit. These are beautiful boots. They snap on nicely as well. And be careful not to scratch the inside of the shaft, but this just makes it a lot easier using the tool on there. And smooth as ever. Well, thank you, Dave. You say smooth as ever, but last stream was really choppy, wasn't it? I mean, I assume you noticed it on the playback. If you play back last stream as a video now from my channel, it's choppy as. It just keeps dropping frames. Now, it's supposed to be a neat strip. It wasn't really, was it? Smooth as butter. The audio's like I'm in a can. Well, that's a problem. I'm sitting next to a. I can't raise my voice because I'll break it again. And I'm sitting next to a noisy air conditioner. Tell you what we can do. Since I'm asking and checking, we're going to treat this like an experiment. I'm just going to add noise cancelling, but a better quality one. And let's just see if this is any better. Is the audio any better now that we're coming through noise cancelling? I need more grip on this. It uses more CPU, and I'm actually recording this session. So this could affect things, but let's just see. You guys tell me, is the video smooth? Is the audio any better now with noise cancelling? Because it may not be, I'm not sure. Alright, I've done it. That is a lot better. It was dropping frames badly last time, and you can't hear that fan at all now. Well, beautiful. Hopefully, see, noise cancelling also cuts out a little bit of the frequency in my voice, so I don't always use it. Just going to check CPU is smooth and happy. Should be. Yeah, I mean, it's working hard. We've got about 40% headroom, which is close, but that's good. Very good. Oh no, ladder injuries are serious business. It's they've got statistics on that and everything. Sorry to hear that, Blitz. Hope you was all right. Thanks, guys. Glad this is better. Sorry you had to suffer through whatever it's been. Hour and a quarter of the bad sound. But we're improving bit by bit. Little incremental improvements. That's how we improve this channel. It's interesting that that doesn't reach all the way down. I guess they probably experimented. Right. Press the ball ends in as well. There's a slight ring on this to tell you which side to press it in from. Oh, great, James. I'm really glad. I'm glad the sound is better. I'll keep using this in future. Oh, my throat. Oh. There we go. Just wondering about this piece. It's threaded, so I guess that's going to be what holds the. I see. This would have been easier if I did this before I popped that up. So I'll put it back off. That's better. It wasn't quite clear in the instructions. Shouldn't there be an O-ring in that or not? I've got an O-ring here that goes in the top. Oh, actually, no, it doesn't need it because it's plastic. Plastic on metal, you won't need the O-ring. I got it. G'day, David. Well, it's meant to be the last. It's the last build session. We're going to see how we go. It was a bit iffy there for a while. I thought I might only last an hour or so, but we're over the hump now. We should be good. Oh, that's a lot of one. This guy. "13mm shocks with 16mm springs. You don't think it's enough? Well, I won't wind up the preload too much then. Although this is coming from the guy that's running a 4268 cam on 4S, whose opinion I fully respect, to be clear. I was kind of making a joke, but if you're finding these aren't enough, yeah, that's interesting, because these are some. Look at the size of these things. They're empty. They are actually quite soft, and the rears are going to be longer and firmer, I imagine. Yeah, they are. Alright, let's do the same for this. Really trying to look after my voice. This guy. Hey, Osborne RC, welcome. Yeah, thanks, James. The main thing is actually not trying to be heard. Just let the mic do the work. Having this noisy air conditioner next to me isn't doing me any favors. Oh, all right. You can see in the illustrations they've got some preload on. I'm going with Rubio's recommendation. Just pop this up a little. If he's saying it's not enough, I'm going to leave some preload in there and we can muck around with it later. That's about right. All right. A little more of that. Okay. How are we looking here? Let's get this oil in. Do you know what? I didn't measure. Back in a sec, I'm just going to get my calipers. All right. It says 32 mil outpull extension. Got 31.5. It's a nice shot with it. 31.6. Good. A tenth of a mil is acceptable. Stinging nettle tea. Blimey. Man, doesn't matter hugely, probably, but let's make it nearly the same. Should be about bang on. How does one acquire a taste for stinging nettle tea? No, right. How do I do that? Didn't gain any extra one. I think we say close enough, eh? Look up, I'm here. It's the easiest time to work. Get it done. Right. It is pretty close, yeah. I just wanted them both within 0.1 of a mil. Tenth of a mil seems good enough. More than good enough. Okay, they're beautiful boots. They're very nice. All right. Thanks for the tips and thoughts, guys. Appreciate it. I'm all good. All right, talk to softly. Ah, it says refer filling instructions. I've filled shocks many a time. Let's see how they treat these. We found it's easiest to complete steps 1 and 2 on each shock before moving on to step 3. I've built so many shocks this year. Let's see how different this is. Start by drilling out the emulsion hole if necessary. I mean, yeah, the holes are fine. Fill shock all the way to the top and pump the shock shaft up and down 3 to 5 times. You're going to have to add more oil doing that, I imagine. Screw the cap all the way on tight. Then with the shock at a 45-degree angle, hold the shock shaft to the top of the stroke. Oil should leak out during this process. Insert the screw, tighten the screw until it's snug, then pump the shock shaft up and down 20 times vigorously. This emulsifies the oil. With the shock shaft fully extended, remove the emulsion screw from the cap and do the final bleed. It's going to be full of air bubbles, and in fact, I don't think the resolution is going to be good enough on this camera, They show big bubbles here, big bubbles there, no bubbles there for step 5, and then for 6 to 7, it's like heaps of tiny little fizzy bubbles. I've never done it this way before. So, oh look, there are wheels on the next page. That's exciting. Yep, alright, let's do it. Let's do it. I'll do it their way and we'll see. Now, add a small bit. Yeah, that's it. Just a bit large. Gotta be careful not to go too large. Just out of curiosity. This is more like, it's not quite small enough. Oh no, I do have a smaller one in there. Look at that. I thought I did. Thanks, David. Glad to hear it. When you say a bit better, it's still a bit choppy, is it? Blimey, that's a lot of prep for brisket, eh? Jeez. Alright. That there. That there. That's good. Alright. That'll do. Can be a bit on the small side. Just not a bit on the big side. Oh, well, hang on a second. It says if necessary, and I just noticed. See that? There's already a hole in it. Oh dear. Didn't need to drill bit at all. Thanks, instructions. I guess it can't hurt to add that detail. Yeah, it is complicated shock build. Well, yeah, no, not so much the shock build that's complicated, but oh, I guess you mean the method. Rather. Just pop back to metric before I get. Alright. Yes, there is a screw for that little hole. It's this fella. These are the only 1.5 mil screws in the entire build. It's an O-ring, not a washer. The BS says he puts the shock retainer in place before bleeding. Do you mean this? With the spring under it? I guess that would make life easier because it'll pop back out again. Yeah, that makes sense. Sure, why not? I think I've done that myself actually. And look at this. There's a spot for a screw as well. Not even a screw. Grub screw. So you don't even see a screw head under it. That's super tidy. Well, thanks for your thoughtful suggestions, my friend. It's nice to have someone who's walked the path before me on this. I think you might be the first one in my chat who's at least said they've had one. I've asked in previous videos and nobody has spoken up. Although now we've got two in this chat who've had Tekno, the other first with the 410.2 or 2.0. There's so many colours here. Something just changed on my screen. We're still rolling? Yes, we are. interestingly, the only part that's biting as I do this grub screw up is the middle piece, the right end. So this probably still can spread out. Yeah, it can. It's not actually, it didn't actually bite on the thread, it's just sitting there. It's kind of like a hybrid between being screwed in and just sitting there, isn't it? Well, look at that. So no preload, and it wouldn't have enough, it wouldn't be enough. Interestingly enough, on the manual, the amount of preload they show, although they're showing the picture with a black spring, I suppose, the included spring is actually quite short. So with no preload here, there's already, before the spring's even compressed, there's some movement. So like a lot of movement, almost 10 mil, I'd say, when it's not done up at all. It's kind of odd. There we go. So we're just about there. So this is like the very least amount. Any less than this, and it's going to have like some free fall before the spring takes up the slack. It's kind of strange, yeah. At least you're watching this. So a custom job, you mean bodywork and stuff, right? Like all that fiddly stuff, which is actually quite a lot of effort, isn't it? That's a mirror you were talking about. Sounds good to me. Went a bit far there. Yeah, this way. I understand. Yeah, a little bit more. It's a little different. Is it just me? It's just me. Alright. Alright, we're just on the tip of it engaging now. And to my eye, honestly, it doesn't look quite right, but let's line these up and see. Oh yeah, that's pretty bang on. Good, 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 good. You have 13 Tekno kits. Wow. Well, thank you for tuning in. This is super familiar, and now that is less surprising that you caught my little oversight before. That I couldn't believe you caught that on camera. Bravo, my friend. Well done. But it's less surprising knowing you've got 13 of the things. That is a super fan right there. Alright, we've got our O-rings in. Okay, let's do it. David, you and I have talked on my channel about the G-Made 1904s. They're the stock tires that came with the GS02F. They are fabulous, aren't they? I haven't used the J Concepts Megalithics. Oh, I wasn't watching what I was doing. I was lucky I stopped then. Yes, I possibly need to buy them as well then because I'm trying to get all the tires I can get hold of. Alright, so we're cross-threading this. Let's not do that. They're very fine threads, these. There we go. Alright, I'm going to do it according to their instructions. Just want to get a grip on this thing. Alright, step one. Let's use this paper. It's going to get messy. Got my little screw in here ready to go. Fill the shock with oil all the way to the top and pump the shock shaft up and down 3 to 5 times. Oh, I didn't do it right. Oh, it's got a hole, so that's okay. Look at it go. What a mess. Let's be a little careful about this, I guess. Here we go. All right. All right. 3 to 5 times. Screw it all the way in. Usually, you see when you're doing this, usually you have it compressed all the way. G'day, Mac. No notifications. I'm sorry. I started this one spare of the moment because I wasn't sure I'd be able to do this today. Welcome. All right, so we've done it 3 to 5 times on this most complicated of shock builds. Reverse first to make sure it clicks into the thread. Go in. You don't want to cross thread these guys. You've only missed an hour and 40, Mac. Don't worry about it. We've basically just gotten started. And someone said, David said there was one fellow using ruptures and they didn't like the wet and the mud at all. Do I have ruptures here? I'm 90% sure I've got ruptures. They'll be part of my test. Okay, we've got it all the way on with the shock at about a 45-degree angle. Oh, I did it wrong. I need to stop looking at chat for a sec. With the shock at 45-degree angle, push and hold the shock shaft to the top of the stroke. Oil should leak out during this process. Just watch this off. Sorry, I've got to read this again. I'm going to be slow here. Maybe it's shaking his fist at the screen. So come on, Craig, get it right. Push and hold the shock shaft to the top of the stroke. Oil should come out during this process. All right. Yep, oil came out during this process. Now, I usually would do up the screw with it all the way in like that. It doesn't actually say whether or not we release before you do this up. I'm doing it up. Do not want to overdo it either. So that wash has just got squished. There we go. Had to go in and out a couple of times to get it smooth, and now it's good. Okay, that's done. Pump the shock shaft up and down 20 times vigorously. This emulsifies the oil. There's 20 with the shock shaft fully extended. Remove the screw. With the shock shaft at about a 45-degree angle, push and hold the shock shaft to the top and insert the screw again. Oil will leak out during this process. Hang on. 45 degrees, roughly. Yep, there's oil right at the lip of it, so I guess we've got it right. And the reason there's oil leaking out is because we've just emulsified it, so it's full of air at the moment. And I can see I probably shouldn't have done this up before with it compressed, but no, I've got to do that again. It's much out, it's hurting. That hurts. It much the overall, so I've got to get this right. Yeah, this is a bleedy screw. Yep. If you're going cheap RC Daddy, listen to Derp. No, Blitz, I'm sorry. The Enduro axles are great value. They're really good. And it's all done up. Oh, so that was the most complex way I've ever built shocks before, but I mean, lucky this isn't an 8-wheel drive or something. We've only got 3 more to do. We've got oil everywhere, but that's all right. They feel nice. Yeah, looks good. Okay, quick drink. Ah, you've ordered the comp pins. You've seen my video on that, RC Daddy. It feels weird to call someone Daddy on the internet. Um, yeah, you want that for a heavier car. That was what I found. All right, let's get everything ready for the next one. I understand where you're coming from, Olivia, but I still got to say, you've got 45 cars. That's rookie numbers. You got to boost those numbers. All right, step 1, no. Step 2, all the way to the shop, to the top. Hold it up and down, air out. What I would have preferred is to not quite fill this all the way up. In ADHD land, Olivia, this is called a hyperfocus. Although it's usually, it doesn't last for years. It's usually on a thing until you get bored when you move on. So what you are doing is actually a bit different. Okay. I couldn't tell you guys how many cars I've got. It could be more than all of you combined, though. But maybe not. Some of you guys might be like, you might have some crazy amount. Right, let's see here. Screw all the way on tight. Yep. Oh, I did this last time. I think I got it right last time. My excuse is I'm running a channel on my website. Okay, let's come up. See you, Noisy. Have a good walk, mate. I miss my dog. I think we're going to get another one soon. I've missed having one. Miss my old dog. Right. All the way in. Put the shock at about a 45-degree angle. Hold it and push the shock shaft to the top of the stroke. Oil should, it says leak out. It's going to go, wee. Oh, okay. It didn't. Last time it did. Insert the prepared screw and seal, which we've got here. Go back. Great. Now, you don't just do this all the way up. Go back and forth a few times because you want that O-ring to line up without becoming misshapen. So it's in, release, pump 20 times vigorously. All right. Yeah, there you go. They add up, don't they, mate? Okay, now that's fully emulsified oil. Shock shaft fully extended. Remove the emulsion screw from the cap. So there would have been a slight vacuum. No, maybe not. Anyway, the screw's removed. Seal. I'll let it come with it. There it goes. Okay, with the shock at about a 45-degree angle, hold it to the top of the stroke and insert the screw again. Oil will leak out, which it is. Save me cleaning it later. There we go. And it's bubbly, bubbly oil, just like in the picture I showed you guys up close just before. Go back again. Want this to bed in nicely. So I've done this second one better than the first one, but they're both acceptable. Now I'm going to keep that held just so I can inspect the O-ring. It's not actually straight. Pull it out again. Keep the angle on the compression. Try again. Nope. Pull it out. Okay, I've got 5 fingers. I'm trying to smooth this O-ring and retain the compression. Come on now. Nope. I've got digits everywhere here. Oh boy. With that spring and the preload, it's really digging into my hand. Come on. Oh, there we go. It bedded in. I felt it go that time. Don't want to overdo it. Just my. There we go. All right. Oof. That was a mission, that was. Let's if you're talking about RC rehab, maybe I'll have to see you there. It gets a bit uncomfortable counting them once you get triple figures on it. Come on, come down. Make sure everything is tight. It is good. Spritz the brisket. Sounds like you're saying, doesn't it? You're spritzing the brisket. Okay, that's the front shocks done. Oh dear. Now, did they apply that to the vehicle yet? Probably yes. All right, so we pop back here. Anyone who's just turned up, here's where we're up to. We've got a functional drivetrain. Radio box is all in and sealed. The set of diffs in and sealed. We've got our bumpers. So now we just need the suspension, then the wheels and the body mounts, and we're good. I have just 2 unopened bags. And yeah, we're nearly there. Now this was front shock assembly. Shock is installed on the opening of the arm. Oh, cool. Look at this. I was wondering about this when I pulled it out before. The black screw is right-hand threaded. It goes on the left side of the car. The silver goes on the right-hand side. They're opposite threads. Why? Don't know. There'll be a reason for it. Probably to stop it from working its way out from use, actually. As this thing comes up, yeah, it'll be to stop it working its way out. So the movement of the A-arms works to tighten it. That's what it'll be. Okay, it said black goes on the left. Black screw is right-hand threaded. It goes on the left of the car. I wouldn't blame you if you got this mixed up. Slot-in spring should face the outside of the car, which we've got in the spring perch, and it goes on the inner. There are 2 holes here. It says it goes on the lower inner one. There are a lot of notes here. Shock is installed in the opening of the arm. Yes, we get that. So that on the left, with the right-hand threaded, black screw, and we've got the front left done. Ooh, I'd like 4 things to check. I wonder if that fits this fella. Nope. I do actually have socket wrenches. Let me see here. Do you know what? Listen, I'm not thinking. Might just be one of those days. waiting for it to bite. Oh, there it goes. Must have missed this step. Yeah, I did. And the bucket goes down. Great. Bucket goes down. Ooh. I think I'm just not functioning too well today mentally. Hopefully I haven't had any glaring oversights. Though I'm sure everybody would have told me if I had. Okay, now there's no... Why do I have one of these left over? That must be from a previous section. I don't think I must have been in the shops. Just moving that plastic. No, we do it. Sorry, keep it on screen, great. Yeah, that's good. All right. It's unsurprising to encounter military folk everywhere, Derp, I'd say, with the US, given the size of their military budget. I would expect you come across service people and ex-service people regularly. This was a very complex suspension build. Now, I had that on the inside before. I'm a little suspect about that. Let's just flip it. I nearly did it the other way. I thought, no, picture doesn't show that. But it did only show one side. Geez, that must have been an interesting day, Mac, with the first wife there. This lady. That's how it goes. All right, look at that. Front's done. Lovely, soft sway bar too. Oh, this is beautiful. It's so smooth. Look at the size of these shocks, truly. Okay, let's do these rear springs. I think that's what we're up to. Now I've got the 700 away, and now the 600 comes out. Just quickly review that I haven't missed anything or messed anything up. Good. I think it will do. Yeah, solid, smooth, and beefy. That's a good combination. Okay, Bagel. I'm not feeling crash out today. Alright, I need that. It's all sorted. Now that I'm live streaming, I regret not doing the BRX02 in this manner. I'm going to do the Cross RC XT4 live as well, I think. We'll just make this a semi-regular, once or twice a week kind of thing, because it's kind of fun. And then you also get to see the little bits and pieces. Because although I film most of this stuff when I'm doing my videos, I cut out between, I'd say, 60 and 90% of what I film for any video I make. And my videos are still kind of, typically 15 minutes, give or take 5 minutes. That's cutting out heaps and heaps and heaps of footage, but I have to. Otherwise, they don't get shown if they're not getting the watches. You guys know the way it goes. So, live stream, we can take our time and really just look closely and enjoy the kit together, which is great. Olivia, very nice talking. Thank you so much for helping. Catch you later. Have a good sleep. Au revoir. Yeah, time just ticks up, doesn't it, doing this? Still hoping to finish this today. We'll see how we go. We're still a bit all over the place. Alright, we're still on the screen. Yes, we are. Good. Yeah, these don't need to be Ziplocs. I tell you what, when I do cross RC, they're all Ziplocs, and I have. It's not within reach, but I'm not kidding. I've got a bag bigger than I can fit in the screen. It's about the size of this car, and about the thickness of it, right? Full of Ziploc bags from the various cross RC cars I've built. I use them occasionally. That would take more resources to make the bag. It would be nice if they're reusable. I get where you're coming from, but you have a lot of plastic. I don't know if they all need to be in their own separate little bags. It is a bit wasteful. The problem with plastic is it's just so dang flexible and useful. It's a shame that it needs to be single use in this way. There probably is a better way. It probably could be done in paper as well, but then paper has its own costs as well. Yeah, it's not an easy answer, is it? Short of just not doing this stuff at all. Right. We're going to do this the same way. I need to get prepped. Tell you what, guys, I am close to stopping. We'll see how we go. I'm really not firing on all cylinders today. All right. Thread lock for this. I said this before for anyone who's joined us. It's a bit of a quiet day today. No E-clips on this suspension at all. No C-clips, E-clips, C-clips, whatever. It's just thread lock and a screw into the shaft. Very nice. Hey, g'day, Brian. It was so lost. Mate, you can always watch this later. Though you missed the chat. Okay. You haven't missed much. For any Brians who have just joined us, I've stuck the rear on, and we've just assembled the front shocks in the most complex shock assembly I've ever done, and then put them onto the car. Center shafts on and the center dips on. So you're all caught up now. That was easy, wasn't it? It's not quite Kevin Talbot boom, but it's not far off for you. The rest of us, we're flooding. Now that you're here, you can stay and see just how fiddly these shocks are. Oh, not fiddly, but there are a couple of steps. I've never done shocks like this before. I like them though. Okay. It's not done. Yeah, that's been straightforward, isn't it? Should I add a RC Daddy? Still feels funny saying Daddy into the camera. See you, mate. Alright, here we go. I'm going to try this a little differently to how I did the other ones, just because we're all here, why not? I'm going to bang some grease into... no, I'm not. I like how I did it before, because I don't want to get grease on these threads, so I'm going to pop these through first. And this is what I did the next bit. Wheel tool in the shaft, hold it in your hand, and then you can thread stuff on, and it's not going to keep disappearing down the end, which gets annoying after a while. I'll put the grease down there. Grease up here. Alright. Oh no. Oh no. I know I have this left over. Arg. It's from one of the shops. I missed it. I missed it before I stuck the end cap in. Arg. Alright, we'll have to undo those. Not to worry. Let's get to it. I'll just stick this on. Get this O-ring on as well, over the top of it. Yeah, it's not the end of the world. I don't need to re-bleed the shock to stick it back on, so it could be worse. It's actually only 1, 2, 3 things, 4 things I've got to undo per side, but it's only 4, so we'll see how we go. Yeah, you can tell an engineer worked on this. It's beautifully thought out. This is the bit I missed on one of these front shocks. It presses in flush, and I even noticed that it pressed in, and I just didn't notice enough to stop. And this comes over the top, and it sits in the middle. Oh, we should be able to tell visually, actually. So there's that fella done up. I'm tempted to pick the other shocks up in a look, but we'll just get these on first. Grease. Oh, I forgot the O-ring again. Have I got any front wheel drive RC cars? No? No. Should I? They're okay if they're on dirt, but the thing is, I have no sealed road around here, so even you can see uh, the the infraction right there, that and the smaller upper go that they sent. They just don't get much use because I need to put them in the car and drive somewhere. I'm just busy. I don't have time to do that usually. Spare at the moment driving here, no worries. But if it's off-road, I'd be interested. What car did you say you had? The Tamiya Golf. You needed to see how they drive. Well, how'd they drive? Do tell. Um, Good. Stop here for a sec. Have a look under here. Let's see. Can we tell from underneath? I bet we can. Oh no, I need to put the boots on to see. Oh, this is annoying. Which one was reverse threaded? Was it this guy? What was it? Yes, it was this one. I thought it was. No, I don't enjoy shocks. We were talking about that on one of the earlier streams. Shocks are my least favorite bit to do. Now these pins are reversed. You see I've got two different coloured screws here because their threads are opposite. You have a different one on each side. So as these things pivot, when there's load, the natural thing is they push to do them up rather than undoing them. So it's a thoughtful little design here to stop them from undoing things. It's clever, eh? Alright, so pop him out. Pop him out. Need to remove a couple of things. Now this is screwed. I think I found I could just pop this off, didn't I? Yeah, I did. I'll undo it. Don't be lazy, bro. Yeah, I've got nitride blocks here. 2+ to use on this. It hasn't actually been overly messy because I've been capturing stuff in this bag. Alright, well, let's see if we've won a prize on this one. Although while it's off, let me just clean it up. Alright, statistically, if I change my mind and swap to that, we have a slightly higher percentage chance of it being right. Well, if you can't. Oh, there's oil everywhere, and that's why. That is why. So we got the right one. I'll have to bleed this again. It's alright. Kind of annoying, but I bet they can be bought separately. These shocks. Yeah, there's oil absolutely everywhere. What a mess. What a frightful mess. Okay. All that effort measuring things too. It's what it is. Just like a real front-wheel drive understeer, no traction, unstable at speed, and presumably it'll steer when you come off the throttle. I think. Is that right? That's right. Alright, look at this fella. What a mess. It's just oil everywhere. The best part of the shock build is putting them on, yeah, when you're done. Hey, g'day, Greg. Hello from California. Alright, let's get this missing piece in. What a stuff around that was. This is the difference between this thing live too. I think I would have picked this up if I wasn't staring at the chat screen all the time. So that should stop it leaking. Hooray. Yeah, I'm interested, Greg. You haven't told me what to be interested in yet, though. Well, you to the point. Alright, here's more fun. So we're going to get this car finished in this episode. writing on the news. Do you have a website or a blog or something, Greg? Is that what you do? Do tell. I haven't done my article for this yet. I've been waiting to get this thing done. Oh, it's on the Armour forum. Yeah, right there. Yeah, sure, I'll check it out. Although, I tell you what, I'll do all my work on this stuff first. I'll get my writing done and all the rest of it before I check out anything like that. I prefer to do my own thing first. That way I'm not stepping on toes and, you know, you're getting unique, unique point of view and stuff. Yeah, have we lost my toil? Yeah, we lost a bit. What a shame. Better do it again. Oh well, could be worse. Could have missed on a boat, couldn't I? Yeah, I did make that mistake, Brian. That would suck. Thankfully, I don't have enough Loctite here. Oh, yes, I do actually. I've got a big barrel of it. Yeah, that would suck. Okay, let's bleed this thing again then. What a pain. Now we need 700, not 600 oil for this one. Let's not get that mixed up. Actually, doing this in reverse is not easy. So I'm doing this up tightly. We're going to need to get a spanner. The spanners all in the car. Or the shed. Just use this. Best. Try not to scratch it up. There we go. Yeah, thanks, Greg. I haven't had a problem yet. If you cross-threaded them, I can see that would be an issue. But we did cross-thread. We were very careful. I mean, you use what you got, don't you? So, Greg, you've built a couple of these now, though. The bleeding process. Did you follow the manual on the bleed process? Because I've never bled shocks like that before. I'm about to show it now. It's interesting. So you do this backwards so you feel it kind of big. Okay, and then you're good. She does. And that's not coming off again. So we can tighten that up. Yeah, you're right about that. It is a fine line. We're not going crazy. Okay, so here's how you blade these things. In fact, I'll do it with the manual so I don't forget. I'm having a funny day today. All the way to the top, pump the shock up and down.